This video is a step-by-step of the Gamestop Release List Flyer assignment. The first step is to go to Blackboard, go to the assignment, and we're going to download all of the pictures. So to do that, you're going to right-click on each of the pictures, go Save Target As. You'll want to make sure you're in your Pictures folder. Most likely you'll actually want to go and create a new folder by right-clicking inside and going New Folder. And you can just call this Gamestop Pictures, or something of your own choice. Go inside that folder and then click on Save. And you're going to do this for all of the pictures that are here. When you're done, you should have 8 pictures. And then we can go on to the next step of the assignment, which is go and start a new Word document. So open up Microsoft Word, and we've got our new Word document here. Next, we're going to go and try and make this so that the margins go all the way to the edge of the page, or as close as we can get them. So go to Page Layout, go to Margins, go down to Custom Margins, set the top margin to 0 with quotation marks to signify inches, set the bottom to 0 with quotation marks, the left to 0 with quotation marks, and the right to 0 quotation mark. And then click on OK, and you're most likely going to get an error message because it's based on your printer if you can actually go all the way to the edge of the page. In this case, my printer cannot, so I'm going to click on Fix, and it'll try to get it as close as it can to the edges. Click on OK, and now you can see that my margins are as minimal as they can get. Next, we're going to go and center the document. So to do this, we're going to go to the Home tab, and underneath the Paragraph section, we're going to click on the Center Text button. Next, we're going to go and insert the GameStop logo at the top. To do this, we're going to go to the Insert tab, and then we'll click on Picture under Illustrations. This will give us the option of all of our pictures. We're going to go into our GameStop Pictures folder, and we're going to pick the GameStop logo. Now you're going to notice that there's a big blank space next to the GameStop logo. We can actually get rid of that by using the crop feature. So we're going to go to crop, and then you can just grab one of the little black lines here, drag it over, and then click off of it. And now the picture is only of the GameStop Power the Players logo rather than the extra blank space that was on it. This isn't a necessary step, but does make it look a little bit better. Next, we're going to go to the next line. So hit enter. And we're going to set the font size to 14. So we're going to go up here to the font section, and we're going to change the font size to 14. And we're going to boldface it. So click on the bold button, and then we're going to type in February release list. Okay, so then we go to the next line by hitting enter, and we're going to insert a table that is 4 columns wide, or 4 columns wide by 2 rows high. To do that, we're going to go Insert, and then we're going to click on Table, and then we're going to go make it a 4 by 2. So you can click right there, and now you'll see that we have 4 columns and 2 rows. So now we have a bunch of data to enter. Wherever it says blank, we're just going to leave that blank. So our first column is going to be basically blank. Our next column is going to have the word title in it. Third column will have release date. And the fourth column will have price. Okay, next, first column's blank. So this is where that's where we'll be putting our pictures. And let's see, we have Kevin Van Dam fishing. The release date for that was 2 2/1/2011, and the price was $29.99. Now you'll see that we have a bunch of rows that we need to enter, but only 2 on our actual document. So if we're in that last column and we hit tab, it'll actually go and create a new row for you. You could also use the tools underneath layout up here to go and insert above, insert below. Just depends on where you're at. But the tab is just a lot easier. So we'll go over to the second column here, and we'll put in 2 worlds, 2, Royal Edition. The release date for that was 2/1/2011, and the price is $99.99. Hit tab and we'll create that 4th row. Tab again will take us over to the title column, where we're going to enter Hyperdimension Neptunia. Hit tab. The release date for that was 2/1/2011, and the price was $59.99. Tab again and again. Next game is Test Drive Unlimited 2. The release date was 2/8/2011, and the price was $49.99. Next row we have Trinity, Souls of Zil Ol. The release date was 2/8/2011, and the price was $59.99. Okay, next we have You Don't Know Jack. Release date was 2/8/2011, and the price, we have $39.99. We hit the enter key because we actually are going to be putting a second price in here, $29.99, and that'll become clear why we're doing that when we get to a later step. Basically, the price got reduced to $29.99. Okay, and in the last row, we got Marvel versus Capcom 3. Fate of Two Worlds. Release date for that was 2/15/2011, and the price was $59.99. Okay, so now we have to go and insert the pictures for each of these games. So for the first one, we're going to go and click in our picture column, second row, right next to Kevin Van Dam Fishing. We're going to go to the Insert tab on the ribbon, and we're going to go to Picture. And we're going to insert Kevin Van Dam Fishing. Next we have Two Worlds 2 Royal Edition. So click in that cell next to Two Worlds 2 Royal Edition. Insert, Picture, and this one says no image available. That was just the GameStop logo that they had, so we'll use that. Next we have Hyperdimension Neptunia, so we'll insert the picture for that. Next we have Test Drive Unlimited 2, insert the picture for that. Trinity Souls of Zilal, insert the picture for that. You Don't Know Jack, we're going to go and insert a picture for that. And then finally we're going to insert a picture for Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Okay, so now we have all of our pictures in. In the first row, so where we have our title, release date, and price, we're going to make the text font size 14 and bold. In this case it's already bolded, so we're just going to make it 14, which already is, because we carried over from our February release list. Next we're going to go and get rid of all the borders in this first row. So you can go and highlight this row, go to the Layout tab, Design tab, and go to the Borders, select No Borders, and now we have no borders. The reason you're seeing the little dashes is because in the layout I have my view grid lines on. If I turn them off, then you'll see nothing. Probably a good idea to leave them on just so you can see where your grid lines actually are. Next we're going to go and highlight this row again, and we're going to make the top and bottom borders black, solid, and width of 2¼ point. To do that, go to the Design tab. First you have to go and make sure you're on the solid one, which we already are. You're going to change the size to 2¼ point, and then you can put in your border. Basically your border will use whatever settings are here based on that. You'll probably want to go and turn off the draw table, so if you have this on here you can actually just come in here and click on the ones you want to turn on. Alternatively, you can come here to the borders and turn on the bottom border in this case, and so now I've got that. Next we're going to make the left and right borders 1/2 point, so change this to 1/2 point, and then you can just go and click on our left and right border. Okay, and then finally we're going to go and set the background color to dark red. To do that, we're going to go into the shading section here, and we're going to look for the dark red, just red accent. Here's dark red, and so we got dark red. Looks good that way. Next we're going to go into our product rows. We're going to get rid of all of our borders. So for this one, we don't actually want to get rid of our top border, so we're actually going to come in here and undo all of our borders one by one. Actually, yeah, no borders, and we'll just go and reinsert our big fat one here. There we go. Okay, for these other ones here, no borders works properly, so you can just go and highlight them, go to borders, no border, and now we have no borders. If I go and I turn off my grid lines, no more borders there. Okay, so back on with the grid lines, and we're going to go make the left, right, and bottom borders 1/2 point black solid. So we can go and highlight all these rows again, and then we're going to go to the Design tab, and we're going to turn on the, make sure you're on your 1/2 point, and then we're going to go turn on the bottom border, the left border, and the right border. Now notice, because I have the whole row selected, that it's doing right border over here and left border over here. If I had just one cell selected, it would be using right border, left border. If I wanted to turn those on while I had the whole row selected, I'd want to turn on my interior borders, like the inside borders here, or inside horizontal, inside vertical. Okay, so highlight those and turn on the inside horizontal borders. So we got those going across. And then we're going to go make the titles bold and italic. So they're already bold, so we can just go and highlight this section in here, bold and italicized. Now the implied would be that this section over here would not be bold, so we'll just unbold that while we're thinking about it. And then we'll center the release date and price columns. So we just go and highlight release date and price, and make sure that they're centered. Okay, and then since the price for You Don't Know Jack is lower at release, we're going to go and strike through the $39.99. To do that, we come up here to the font on the Home tab, and click the Strike Through button. You'll see the line appears striking through the font, and then we're going to go and highlight the $29.99 and increase its font size to 18 point. And then we're also going to bold it and make it red. Okay. Next we're going to go and align the table so that it looks good on the screen. So for example, we can go and make this so that it's just the width of the pictures. We can actually go and make the release date a little bit smaller because don't really need all that space for it, and same with the price. This is more of an eye judgment, not really graded upon too deeply, but just want to make it look good. Okay, and you might want to do something like make this bigger. If you do that, you want to make sure that you actually turn on underneath layout, You're going to go and make it so that it's centered. And there we go. You can go and save this document. You can save it underneath File, Save, and you can call this one Gamestop February Release List. And then you can upload it to Blackboard. Thank you, and have a good night.